add, and then I drop that down below. And now we have audio. That should do the trick. Good thing you see at the top of our thing there. What do we got? We got anybody in here? Guys, let us know in the chat room if you can hear. There we go. There's Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
We like you guys so much. We're in the process of changing the opening format. The opening format now, tater salad, exactly, Nelson. We're Eric Fisher, new face. Haven't seen you around. Sean, what's up, everybody?
Hey, Maria.
Maria D'Souza, my colleague.
Hey, Nelson.
Robert and Nelson. God, what a great bunch.
Sean, good to see you. Julie, so good to see you.
We decided to
David,
switch
too.
this visual. So the open is a rework the format. Now that the 15 years is out of the way. It's 16 years now.
It is, yeah.
So now
people got a little bent out of shape about that, but we didn't plan to be doing this for a whole year plus.
We did not. Hey, Vaughn, what's up? Virginia. Oh, my gosh. All these great people show up. Now, even though you are on YouTube or Twitch or Periscope, if that still exists.
Hey, dude.
I'm not
Nice
sure
to
it
see you
does,
out there.
Hey,
Ginia.
You can now all say hi to each other in
Hey,
the
Stephen
chat room.
King. I'm Michael Grace. That is not me.
I'm going to hang that up. Now, why would somebody call me at this time? All right. So, you guys, we're about to... Oh, Jet Redimus. What's up? All right. We got people from all the platforms except Periscope. I don't know if Periscope is working or they finally shut it down because they're supposed to shut it down sometime in March, but we will see. All right. Let's go to Maine, baby. You ready?
I am ready, yes.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. How are you? It feels like it's been
guys.
a million years since I saw you. We had a hard
Hey,
drive
Rob.
crash. Hey, Rob Otto. We tried to install an update to some software. That update broke that software, then made it impossible to install any other software. So when my Apollo software, which I use for all the audio stuff for this podcast and all the podcasts and all the streaming, that crapped out, and that is a regular process. It craps out, you uninstall it, you reinstall it. I couldn't reinstall it. We lost, so we basically had to reformat, copy everything off, reformat the drive, copy it back. I did not copy everything. Apparently, there were a bunch of settings for Restream and OSB, which is the software used to stream to you guys, that I missed out. So I've had to recreate the entire thing. Hey, Zach Parrish, popping in, give support.
Yeah, Stephen King has the comment so far of the
Don't
evening.
lean in that close. Yeah, go ahead.
He said, so it's down Periscope?
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus 10 experience
And
points,
also,
Stephen King.
Shawnee Schermerhorn, I think you just joined. I think your name is fantastic.
Yes. The Schermerhorns. They go way back.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Shannon.
Way back. So we will have problems
Robin.
on the show, you guys. Some of the layouts a little bit goofy. Audio could go out on the drop of a hat. So
It's true.
if anything goes wrong, we will try and fix it. But there may be problems.
And don't worry, you guys, because if it goes out, I can't help fix it at all. I have no idea what has been happening over the last 3 days up here, but I do know there was a whole lot of cursing. So, yeah, can't help it if it happens.
A lot of cursing. So, I tell you about the computer meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing about it is I've made so many small tweaks over time, and most of those are about 10 months ago. So I don't remember all this stuff. So today has been a crazy day to get going. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tater Day. It is Tater Day. And the mantra of this show is all professional broadcasters, ABE, always be eating. So what we got today is, dun, 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 dun. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Taters!
Lots of tots. And
Tater tots, what's up, bitches? Okay, we'll put that on the... I didn't make room for taters, you guys.
He said he made room, but he didn't make room.
I made room on the side.
That's not how you eat a tater tot from way over there.
That right there.
So I asked him if he wanted loaded tots, if he wanted lobster tots, if he wanted some kind of special tot. And he was like, no, I want tater tots and ketchup and ranch dressing. I didn't even get to make like Parmesan garlic tots.
Danny.
But, you know, he's having taters. And, you know, you're supposed to always be eating when you're broadcasting, apparently.
That's what all the pros do. That's what Larry King did. Always eating.
Lord's sakes.
You ever see my Larry King impression?
No.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
So you did the movie back in 1952. I was there. I was 30 years old when I saw it in the theater. How do you feel that you came
You
across?
look so much more like Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh, the Gilbert Godfrey. And then there was the incident with the duck. Nobody liked the goddamn duck.
That's my Gilbert Godfrey. I'll work on it. All right, so it's a little bit hot in here. Actually, I had A come in earlier and say, is it hot in here? She said, no, baby, that's just you.
But now I'm in here.
She made a joke, said, that's just you, walked out, and turns out it's effing hot in here.
Too damn hot in here.
Coming up in this episode, We're going to have a small announcement about hot sauce in just a moment. We are hopefully going to have a baby McButter video. We'll tell you how that goes. That'll be at the end because it's not for the kids. Not for the kids. We've got some empty set updates. We've got This Week in Siglerism, Siglerabrations, pup dates, junkie picks, and probably won't get to questions. But hello, some more. Okay, so everybody. So here we go.
Hey, Genelia. You're traveling, visiting the kids. Congratulations. How fun.
John Viscar has never seen Gilbert Gottfried and Larry King in the same room at the same time.
It's a good point. Solid point.
I've got the chat room set up with my favorite graphic, my favorite GIF of all time.
Tater's going to take?
Tater's going to look at these happy taters just shaking it down. Now, the one on the right might be an egg. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Or he's like, I guess, right tater since he's not really doing a whole lot. Like, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
And let's get to the first thing. Let's talk about our books, ladies and gentlemen. This is a show where we try and sell books. So sooner or later, we're going to talk about books. We've got coming up this Sunday, we have The Gangster, episode number 18 over at scottsigler.com. Do you remember off the top of your head how many episodes The Gangster has?
No, and I'm sure that Steve will join if he's not already in here, but I do know it ends at the beginning of September. We will be podcasting The Gangster all the way through September 2021.
Sandra Chung says, Scott and Heat News at 11. We are potentially working on something fancy, weird, and new for the podcast. I don't know if it'll be ready in time for September, so we may be looking at the Stone Wolves, but we will see. We will see how that goes. We're not really sure yet. Mm-hmm. Also, here we are over here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to your camera, sweetheart.
Okay.
And
hi, guys.
The Gangster, of course, is available over at audible.com or at amazon.com. Mm-hmm. If you haven't left a review at amazon.com, we got 66. Well, it'd be great if we get that to 666 reviews and then just ask them to cut it off. Just stop right there.
But as you know, Amazon is a giant business. They also own Audible. So thank you guys so much, everybody who had emailed in to say, hey, book 6 is not yet connected to the GFL series.
Oh, sure.
That is finally done. It takes a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is, The Gangster.
And there it is, so we don't have to email anymore. Because I genuinely, I really do appreciate it. I just hate that Audible can take, sometimes 2 months to do that, sometimes 2 days to do that, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's frustrating.
We do appreciate when you guys give us this kind of
100%.
feedback, because it gets so busy for us, and there's so many different tiny things we have to look at. For example, I've been the IT guy for 3 days. Yeah. So much we have to look at. We don't always see it. When you guys send a polite email, says, hey, don't know if you noticed, but this is going on. Mm-hmm. If we've already seen it, we'll say, hey, thanks a bunch, we got that. But other times we're like, what? That's broken? Okay, cool. Yeah. And then we can fix it. Yeah. It's wonderful. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Mount Fitzroy. If you've not left your review for Mount Fitzroy, we are at 1,944. Let's see. Hopefully I don't have any of my porn bookmarks
46.
there. 2 more come in. 1,946 reviews for Mount Fitzroy. It's, I don't know what that pop-up was. That's crazy. It's great. We are so close to 20. How many is that, maybe 26? 26 away? No, 24. 24 away from 2,000, which would be a monumental moment, and we'll stop blabbing about it so much. But while you're there.
Isn't it 40-something?
No.
How many are there?
Oh, yeah. 40. Yeah, I don't do math. She does the math in the family. So we got, while you're there, make sure you go down here and look at all these guys. And when you either most helpful or most recent, and just click helpful, help. You can sing the song too. Helpful bitches, helpful bitches,
okay,
helpful
right.
bitches, helpful. You get the point. That also trips the algorithm.
This is the best book that has ever been written. Read it now. Wait and make sure you have read it. Do not ignore this review. Sounds suspiciously like someone I know.
It was much better than Cats. I love the book.
I loved it.
All right, so now back to Maine. It is hot in here. You did a terrible job of telling me it was hot in here.
I wasn't in the room. I just came in to feel the room. And so now that I'm in the room, it's too hot.
You brought in all this tot.
That is actually true. I did bring in 400-degree tots too, or air fryer heated to 400 degrees.
Speaking of which, you guys, this
Lord
is great.
sakes, it's hot in here. Sakes alive, you guys.
So,
woo!
A bought. Did you bring the tape up or no?
No.
A bought some empty set logo tape. So when we send boxes out, we try and pretend we're Apple and make very fancy packaging, which is packing tape and a sticker. Our sticker is the fancy packaging. But the company sent us the stickers, and A was mystified.
Yeah. Okay. So I ordered what's called strapping tape. It's it's got like fibers in it and whatever, and it has the empty set logo on the outside. Mm-hmm. And I ordered enough so that when we send out the gangster in the next few months, you'll get if you've ordered other books, you get the brown cardboard box, and this will have an empty set tape on it. That's all I ordered. And this is what they sent.
Rob Otto, nice Steve Martin reference, but this is what they sent as a extra. They sent. I can't. It's too bright.
Close, yeah.
Let's try
if you
your
get
camera.
closer to the camera, yeah. If you get closer.
They sent some hot sauce, and A says,
"Oops, mule hot." There we go.
Bring it on back. A's like, why would they send us hot sauce? And at the point when she asked us, I have the hot sauce in my hand. I'm like, because if it's good hot sauce, we'll buy everything from them all the time because they sent us hot sauce.
Okay, dudes, I actually went. So I ordered from Sticker Mule. I have ordered a ton of things from Sticker Mule. They're a great company. They do little vinyl die-cut stickers. So, we got to try it. It might not be good hot sauce. Let's find out.
But that's not even hot at all. Oh, wait.
It's got the little after.
You finish your story now. Oh, that's good.
So I've ordered a ton of stuff. I love them. They always send like stickers in the box, like other stickers in the box as well for fun. But this came in a whole separate box, and so I go to the website to be like, there's no card, there's no nothing, there's no indicator that they meant to send me hot sauce, just that it showed up in a separate box for my tape.
That's great.
So they go to the website, and if you have ordered from Sticker Mule, you can go there and click on other products, or you can go to mulesauce.com and it'll bring you to the same place.
JR, I don't think it is Tapatio. It's really
No, it
sweet.
Isn't Tapatio,
Just
and they talk about
spice,
Tapatio and Cholula there's like a video on the website and some comments, and there are people who have commented who say like, this definitely replaces my daily Cholula. This is better because it's more flavorful than Tapatio. I can't eat too many hot things anymore, so I'm not sure if I can have that. Can I try this?
Yeah, I think you can try it.
Okay.
But just, I'll give you don't go crazy.
Randomly, I ordered tape, and they also sent me hot sauce. And I was talking to friends today, and somebody was like, yeah, of course, perfectly matched.
It's incredible.
Which is exactly right.
Now, I have wanted for years to start my own chocolatier company, which we're not going to talk about because it's a lot of cursing involved in the chocolatier company.
Because he thinks all he has to do is say, let's make a clever name for the chocolate company, and then everything else gets done. And I don't have that kind of time.
It's about merch. It's about selling merch, not necessarily
I don't have that kind
chocolate.
of time in
Anyways,
my life.
Let's get back into it. Here we go. Back to May. That's what we'll do every time you contradict one of my brilliant genius ideas. Boom, $1 million, Rob. I'll just switch the camera back. So, is that hot?
Whew. It's not too hot, but it's a little hot. It's also very hot in here. I don't know if I mentioned.
All right, and speaking of Rob Otto, who we mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great Story Smack coming up this weekend. Do I have the date right? Yes, Saturday, April 3rd, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Shoot. Yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
5 p.m. Eastern. I told you she does math. 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. We are going to review and do a deep dive on an absolute comedy classic, a movie that has endured the test of time. Eddie Murphy at his absolute comedic prime. Arsenio Hall, a bunch of other people. James Earl Jones. It's incredible. It's one of my favorite movies. So we're going to talk about Coming to America. You can join us for the live stream on that. If you're unable to join us for the live stream, what we do is we strip the audio out of that and we put it into the RSS feed over at scottsigler.com/subscribe, which I don't have a slide for. I have to work on that.
That's okay.
But it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited to watch this movie again and have Rob on. Rob Otto is Empty Set movie maven and McDowell's franchise owner. Did you know that?
I didn't, but now I do.
Yep.
2 things.
Yep.
Shawnee Shushalik says maybe we... Shawnee Shermer.
Shawnee
Sorry,
Shushalik.
Shawnee.
You want to stick with that. That's the best Siglerism nickname in the world.
It says your fuck ton of nuts should be making chocolate covered Shushliks.
That's a great. So you agree that's a good idea then?
No, I agree that Shawnee has a great name, and if she's ever attending a Sigler event, she should introduce herself as Shawnee Shushalik.
Shawnee, if you legally change your name to Shushalik, you will get every book I write for free. You write one copy though. Come on.
But it's spelled with S's, not C's. You had questioned the spelling, so it's sort of how you did it, but it's SCH. Yeah.
Dude, no matter what goes wrong with this show tonight, these tater tots. And then I'm like, baby, those tater tots gonna be ready. She's like, they're gonna be ready. It's not a delicacy. And those were fighting words. Those were marital spouse fighting words right there. Don't you tell me tater tots aren't a delicacy. Don't you tell. You know how many school lunches I had?
Okay, dudes, it was 5 minutes after 5. 5 minutes after 5, and he comes down like, okay, if you haven't, I'm not sure if you have the time, but do you think you can? Can we still have the tots? I'm like, yeah, we have an air fryer. It'll take 10, 11 minutes. It's gonna be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not drag Brian King. Brian Kane just asked, is it bad? I've never seen Coming to America. He's young. He's misguided. He spent a lot of years in the Cayman Islands working on a pirate ship. He wasn't a pirate. He was a pirate ship repair guy. So it's tangential to the pirate business. But yes, watch Coming to America, Brian. Find
it's
a
not
way.
bad.
Watch it.
Yeah, you have the opportunity to do so
Find
now,
it.
and
Watch
then
it.
enjoy
Oh,
this
my
and
God.
the new one.
Yes. Yes.
Also,
Richard,
Iceberg.
no, Richard Allen. Don't tell me you're hating. Oh, Richard Allen. Goodness gracious. Richard Allen's telling me he hated on the original Coming to America. Now, we're not talking about the remake, sir. We're talking about the original. So if you're saying the original would kill brain cells, I don't know how you wind up reading my books, because my books kill brain cells by the pirate boatload.
The Iceberg said, tater tots do not take 55 minutes up to you.
Delicious. Babe, let's go to Siglerations.
All right, we do have a few.
Oh, by the way, I mentioned on Facebook, my cousin, the pastor, might be here. Turns out he got tied up in court and he's unable to make it today. Yeah. But he has promised us. He has sworn, as he said. I'll quote him. I have sworn that I will be there. So sooner or later we're gonna have Pastor Sigler on.
Mr. Big John Vizcara says that older uneaten tots can have a second life strung around a Christmas tree.
There's no
not
such
a thing
thing
that's ever going to happen in our house.
I'm like, these tots are 2 weeks old. They're fine. They're fine. Let's just knock them out.
There's a lot of food in our kitchen where if I see it and I look at it, I'm like, is that? I'm just going to throw it out. And Scott does it like this, like. Nope, that's definitely rotten. Oh. And he'll just pull off the rotten part.
You cut off the bad parts.
I do nothing and break my own heel. He literally eats rotten food and just gets stronger every day.
Those of you who have read enough fantasy novels are fully aware of if you wind up with a heel of bread with some mold on it, you just cut that mold off. Also, a chunk of discarded cheese with some mold on it, you pinch that off and you eat it, or you throw it in the stew bowl. Everybody who's read fantasy books knows this. I'm surprised. Let's go to Siglerations.
All right. So, in the chat room right now, Mr. Tim Legower has a birthday today. He's a good friend of ours. Congratulations on your birthday. I hope you had fun, even though it's probably still locked down. And I hope you have it's Wednesday, so you can kind of drag out your birthday through the weekend, too, because it's Easter weekend.
That's a good point.
So you might as well.
Oh, it's Easter weekend? Mm-hmm. Are we going to have eggs?
We have eggs every day.
Okay.
But we're not having colored eggs because I can't get behind that jazz. I mean, I don't mind it. I just don't have the bandwidth for it. I got to plant a garden, so I'm not doing eggs.
Let's go.
Let's see.
Rock and roll.
My sweet, sweet goddaughter, Monroe, is turned 5 today.
Fabulous.
And Monroe's beautiful, wonderful parents are in the chat room. If you would like to say happy birthday to Monroe or congratulations to Jen and Shannon, please do so. Happy birthday, my dear. Let's see. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if Courtney is in the chat room tonight, but Courtney Schools, who is often here, her birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Courtney. I hope you have a great day. You also get to party through the weekend, as does Monroe. All birthdays get to party through the weekend.
It is decided.
We do have a handful of people that are, let's say, healing right now. We, as you guys all know, our good friend John Vizcara is almost done with his chemotherapy, and we can't be more excited about that. We're going to celebrate every single step of the way because he's the most awesome.
He's great.
Our good friend Scott Pond, who is also the in-house graphic designer at Empty Set, Scott
Pond got in a fight with an inanimate object, and it cut him.
He got into a fight with a trash bag, and I mean, this sounds ludicrous, but it was a near miss for a real tragedy. It sounds like.
Wow!
There was something in the trash bag when he was taking it out that he like pulled it out of the can, which I do all the time, and it sort of swung around and hit him in the back of the leg, and he required 5 stitches from how deep that cut was.
You know what it was, don't you?
I don't.
You guys steeped in Siglerism know exactly what it was.
Was it a snipe?
It was a snipe.
Damn it!
Snipe got to you. Snipe's like, you ain't going to take that garbage out. I'm going to cut that ankle. And sure enough, there you go.
And when he, unfortunately, had a very, very long wait at the ER, which I guess, is unsurprising but unfortunate in COVID times. And when he eventually got seen, the physician that saw him and treated him and stitched up his leg said he was about half an inch from a vein, and it could have been a much, much worse injury. So I'm super glad that it's just cumbersome and painful, and he'll recover.
To be fair, if he'd hit that vein, he would have got through ER a lot faster.
If he had made it to ER, he would have gotten through the ER quite fast.
So you got that going for you, Scott Bond.
Which is nice, I guess.
Richard Allen's like, what, only 5 stitches? Should use duct tape, bro.
Yeah. And then we got this email from our friend Jared Miller. He's often in the chat room as well. He made a beautiful, I think it was a gin gimlet for his wife back when I was still making drinks because his wife doesn't like vodka, which is okay. And it was beautiful. It was purple. Jared says, under better circumstances, we would be Sigler braiding, celebrating my wife Trish's 5th of 6th chemo infusions. Unfortunately, she's developed a fever, and all chemo has been put on hold for now. She has had the fever for 10 days as of writing this email, which arrived last night. Her doctor has scheduled some diagnostic procedures for later this week. I guess one celebration is that the fever is still responding to Tylenol. If I could get a call out for support or prayers or good vibes, etc. from the junkies, it would mean a whole lot. Yep. So Jared, we are pulling for you, and we are pulling for Trish, and really happy that the doctor's taking this seriously and getting it under control. Also glad that it's controllable by Tylenol, because if it's just that one symptom and she's managing it, hopefully they can find it and help her. And so I'm sending you all the good vibes I have, and everybody in the chat room is doing the same thing.
Yes. My cousin, the pastor, he has this thing, disgraced pastor. I'm sorry. The disgraced pastor, we have to be honest about this. The disgraced pastor.
I mean, is he a disgraced pastor because he was never truly a pastor? Did he just show up at a church one day?
No, he don't you get a license to be a pastor? A pastor license?
No.
Anyways, he's disgraced. And because what he would say is, now half of this is good and we're going to do it right now. Half of it, I'm not endorsing at all. Half it was, I can't do his accent, but it was reach out and put your hands on the screen. Put your hands on the screen and share our energies together, or something like that. And then he would say, and while your hand is on the screen, use your other hand to get the money out of your wallet, put it in an envelope, and send it to me. So we're only going to do the first part.
That's true. And what I love about this is you said, put your hand on the screen.
Put your hand
You know what Scott Sigler hates?
What?
Anybody touching his monitor.
Oh, no, don't touch
in any way, on any screen. Don't touch his iPad. His phone is okay, because phones you have to touch. But he doesn't like you to touch his phone in general. No. And he absolutely does not like you to point by using your finger and putting it on the glass. Not a big fan.
Yes. So what I want y'all to do is now reach out, and we might get him here next week if his court dates are up.
Oh Lord.
We'll get, because there's so many sick people. With so many sick junkies, we got to bring him in and have him do a little pep talk, little. He's a disgraced atheist pastor. It's very complicated. Put your hand out. Do it. Put your hand out.
And the Lord saith is what Samora
Would you
says.
like to hear my Southern Baptist impression?
Sure.
Ready, guys? Here it goes. Not as good as my cousin, but here it goes. And the Lord saith that you will put your hand on the screen. It's pretty good, don't you think?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
And, so reach out to fellow junkies, share that energy, and we'll see if we can get my cousin out next week. All right, what next, baby?
I think that we're not going to have any dinner because we ate 400 pounds of tater tots.
This is an appetizer. It's like a bloomin' onion, but with potatoes. Actually, I'm trying to meet a weight goal tomorrow, so I may have to actually run after this show.
Ricky Berg and John Vizcarra both point out that there's a pope and a disgraced pastor in your family, so that's a pretty good crowd.
Which
Iceberg
is weird, because I'm not a churchy guy. It's weird.
Iceberg says, General, Pope, Pimp, Pastor, quite a family. Just like every other Midwestern family. What are you talking about?
Oh, no. We're actually a Eastern European family. It's just my grandpa moved out of there. But the rest of the family, South American, Eastern European.
It's funny because I can only think of one of your cousins who has an accent that is non-American. Okay, Freak Show, you asked us a little while ago what we're drinking. I am drinking a sort of a modified margarita with vodka instead of tequila. And Scott is drinking Blackberry Smash, as I mentioned on an earlier cast. Scott loves blackberries, so when I can get them, I try to use them as much as I can.
Yep.
Delicious.
So, all right, baby. Is that all of them? Mm-hmm. Did you get
send
me well wishes?
Yeah. So obviously you can continue to send well wishes. If you have anything sort of personal that you would like to share with any of those folks that I mentioned, or Jared, or if you've been through any of this, I can certainly share. If you want to send anything to info@emptyset, I can make sure they get to the intended destination without you having to say it publicly, if that's what you'd like. So, happy birthday to all you guys who are celebrating. You're some of my favorite people on earth. And all the best wishes for everybody who is currently healing.
All right. Now it is time to get on to...
One more thing.
Yep.
If you have anything to celebrate, or you need encouragement, or you need junkie vibes, that sort of thing, as ever, send that to info@emptyset.com. We are almost out of pup and cat and pet photos, and... we've got tons and tons of junkie photos, and we would like to celebrate anything you need to celebrate. So info at
Dip
emptyset.
out, JR. We'll see you on the next one.
Info@emptyset.com.
Oh, yeah. Info@emptyset.
Wait, I can do it this way. There we go.
It's info@emptyset.com. Now it's time for our sponsors who keep us in the tater tots. Baby girl, go crazy.
All right. So as you guys know, during lockdown, we are doing this SIGLER-in-Place, and we always feature what we call a sponsor, which is actually a nonprofit that we are providing opportunity for information for you guys in case you want to donate or share this link. This is for Embrace Relief. Embrace Relief is a 501c3 nonprofit organization which collaborates with volunteers to deliver humanitarian aid and disaster relief to vulnerable communities around the world. In accordance with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, their team offers relief in the form of financial, emotional, and physical support in order to meet the needs of people ravaged by disaster and other misfortune. The foundation collects and distributes supplies to families, individuals, and institutions. They work with material suppliers like Home Depot and Lowe's and things like that. They work with medical supply companies. They work with cash. They work with volunteers. So if you have any interest in sharing, this is around the world global company. And during COVID, they have been reaching out to particularly vulnerable communities who don't have active running water or whole independent established healthcare facilities that have generators and are at least trying to give them those basic things if they have to manage this sort of care.
All right, cool. Go back to home. Let's go back to Maine. There we go. So, there's a lot of tots going down the show. It is International Tater Day. Actually, I don't know if it's international or not.
I don't know either. It just said Tater Day. So we can assume if you love a tater.
I read up a little bit on Tater Day, baby.
Okay.
It turns out this is Tater Day is over a century old. Let's take a moment. Tater
I'm not
Day.
sure this is true.
No, this is not. This is
History, I think. Oh, it showed you anyway.
Tater Day. Let's go.
Are you kidding me? 1843?
How do I get to here? There we go. Look at this. 1843, and that's how long, baby. I don't do the math. You do the math in the family.
1843, over 100 years.
Over a century of Tater Day, you guys. If you aren't celebrating, that means it's not just un-American. It's inhuman. How?
This says there is also a Junior Miss Tater Day for little girls ages 5 to 12 and a Little Mr., Tiny Miss, and Baby Miss Tater Day pageants and floats for the younger kids.
Are you a baby? Is this kids dressed like taters? Is that what it is?
You're the one who found this information,
my
so
God.
I don't know.
If any of you happen to have pictures of your children
Dressed like
dressed
a
like
potato.
taters, please send that in. Also, if you don't have children, please do not go find pictures of other people's kids dressed like taters. That's just weird. That's going to get you kicked off a plane, and we don't want to be a part of that at all.
I just love the idea of, can you imagine? Do you remember when you were, I don't know, if you were in the United States or a place that celebrates Halloween, because I know not everybody does, not every country does the Halloween thing, but if you dressed up for Halloween, I'm sure when you were a little kid...
Friggin' Rob. Rob says, so tater tots?
Indeed. Tater tots. Rob Otto and Stephen King should meet.
They should. Also, Jay Radimus says 178 years, almost 2 centuries of tiny kids dressed up like taters.
is Jared Miller, who we were just talking about.
Of course.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. When it becomes a Scott Sigler story, here's what happens. So they dress the kids up like taters, and then they have a raffle. It's a bit of a Shirley Jackson meets, Route 57. Is it Route 57 where you do all the diners and stuff?
66.
Route 66.
There's a whole song.
Route 666. And it's the loser of the tater contest or the winner that gets boiled like a tater. So it's a lot about it's cannibalism, human sacrifice, and taters and fashion all rolled up into one. What more could you want out of a story? It's almost as good as the Rainbow Bridge. We're talking about a lot of great stories.
I'm trying to think of Route 66 that you drive to get to Vegas because it's
dead now.
Yeah,
it's not even a real road anymore. It's a fake
That's
road.
not true.
It's a half road.
Why is it?
It's a 2-track.
It is definitely not. Route 66? No.
I thought they got rid of it.
No.
All right.
Definitely no.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my favorite part of the show. It's time for pup dates. It's a pup date.
Look at
And our
her.
pup that's
Tongue
going to
Out
be looking
Wednesday.
at Tongue Out Wednesday. Look at that tiny girl. What a great shot by a...
So we
It
had...
looks like she's being attacked by a mad snail.
It does. We had guest dogs here this week, and they're Stella, who you know, who's one of the dogs of doom, and Stella has a new little sister. Her name is Cordy. We've showed you some of those pictures of Cordy and Stella. They're just adorable. I have never lived with a puppy before, who is not the youngest are the dogs that you see here, and they all came home around 7-8 months old. Cordy is just barely 7 months old, and wow, that's a whole different dog.
Yeah.
It was really fun, but puppies are a lot.
Little stressful. When it's a puppy and it's not your puppy, you're like, whoa, this is a lot of work right here. And
she was
then,
great.
since we have our little pup on the right side, it is now time to bring in our big pup on the left side.
Dum dum dum.
But also, I couldn't resist a little bit more of a little pup on the left side. There we go.
Uh-oh.
It's Jacob's Ladder Squeaky on the left, far left. And Reese, as usual, being just stoic and observational.
Mm-hmm.
She's
And
like a reporter. She's
she
just
is.
watching.
She's watching and waiting. It's true. This is at the Lair of Doom before we had to give it up last year.
Yep.
Awesome. But not all that long before we moved, because I can tell by the background and anybody who has ever been to the Lair of Doom, Angela, if you're on the cast, you can see it for sure. You can tell where the TV was based on how many times you rearranged that room.
Yep, that's true. And Angela found some pictures of the SIG bar, which we're going to take a look at next week,
true.
hopefully.
Yeah.
It's really cool. There are baby heads involved. That's all I can tell you for now. Get rid of this. Now it's time for everybody else's pups. Who do we got, sweetheart?
Okay, so I'm not sure if Scott Lynch is on this call, but you guys might have seen this on Facebook too yesterday. This is Scott Lynch's new grand pup, Bruin. And he posted it in Sigler Junkies as a pup date, so I thought I would share it here. I don't know anything else about Bruin because I swiped it from Facebook, but he's too cute to pass up. Lucky little pup.
And then we have...
So this is Jessica Sharrow's kitty cat Arkham. And
named after the receiver.
Yes, and when Jessica actually sent this email in, which was a while back, she said, "This is Arkham. Most think she's named for the Batman universe, but we know better." And I had to text Scott and John Vizcarra and be like, do we know better? I'm unfamiliar with that. And they both were right away like, oh, it's a receiver. He's a rookie.
Totally
It's
receiver.
fine.
Totally receiver. Now...
He's a cute little fluffy munchkin for sure.
Next up... Oh, come on.
Okay, so you guys have met Ludo before. Ludo is Lee Bozer-Lowen's dog, and he's huge and giant. We've seen a handful of photos, and this is actually an in memoriam pic. He's no longer with us, but we've seen a picture of him in the snow, and he's like a little hut, like a little lean-to. He's so big. But this is when he was a puppy. Lee and his wife are both motorcycle riders, so this is him in a helmet.
Well, I'm glad they're looking out for safety. That's the most important thing.
And he says, if I had the Photoshop skills, I so would have done a Kraken's logo overlay on this helmet.
Very nice.
This
very
is
nice.
just, that was Ludo before he became massive. He was only 9 weeks old in that shot.
Who is this?
This is Sam Smith's pup, Millie. Millie is 11 years old, going to be 12 at the end of May.
Smile. It smile's wider than her whole head.
Yep. My sister and I got her when she was 2. Her previous owners were having difficulty with her and had to tell her off daily. So I said I would take them off. I would take her off their hands. I didn't think that through as we were renting a room at the time, so we had to rush to find a flat that would allow pets. She has been amazing. I have daily problems. You guys know Sam. Sam lives in Gibraltar, and her family lives across the border in Spain, I think. So we've talked about her. She had a birthday last May, and so she's had a lot of problems, she says, and suffers daily with pain. And Millie helps her so much. A lot of pet owners can agree with me that she can instantly lift my spirits. She gives me a reason to go outside, which makes my day better. Her gotcha day is the 1st of April, which is when I watch the SIGLERinPLACE stream due to the time difference. In Gibraltar, it's 3 a.m. So happy gotcha day, Millie. Yes. What a cute little pup.
Some more, hold tight. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then finally...
and this is Mr. Jinx. Mr. Jinx, who is definitely looking for Solo in the Wookiee. Absolutely looking for Solo in the Wookiee.
Solo, bring me catnip. Oh.
also belongs to Sam and lives with Millie as
Friggin'
well.
great cat.
Mr. Jinx is chunky. He loves to lay on your lap, watch TV, sit on Sam's
And
shoulders,
throw mice to the Rancor. Obviously, that's what he wants to do.
falls asleep in her arms when she goes to
my
bed.
God.
He does have a
It
mischievous
looks
side.
exactly like Jabba the Hutt. With
Oh, I know,
fur.
isn't that great?
Incredible.
It's the surprised face too is wonderful, so wonderful. I laughed so hard with it's the first thing I thought of. I love Jinx so much. Are you kidding me? He's so great. She says he does have a mischievous side. He will scratch the TV and knock items off of any surface they're on, and in the end, he's just a big love bug.
Sean Dyer says, SIGLERinPLACE question. I haven't found Arkham as a real city. Is she named after Batman or Lovecraft? That's none of your goddamn business. That's the business of the receiver. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Real quick, side note, we forgot a Celebration.
We did.
We did. Forgot a Celebration. Today is the 66th birthday of one Angus Young Bitches from Ocean, the greatest band in the history of mankind, my favorite band, all other bands that rotate as my second favorite band. There are many, but the number one favorite always and will forever be AC/DC. So there you go.
So that is the end of the junkie pets. If you guys have pets that you want to share, they don't have to be new. They don't even have to live in your house. They have to belong to your family. And you have to tell me a story about them. Send it to info@emptyset.com.
Speaking of sending things to emptyset.com, and speaking of junkies, you know what we got to do now?
No?
It's time for Junkie Pictures. A bunch of people who've made horrible choices in their lives by listening to my stories. That was pretty good. I like that. That's a good tone for me. I like that. Here's first picture. Very disturbing. Oh,
Yeah, it's terribly disturbing.
hey, now you're just being a jerk. Hold on. Shoot.
Uh-oh. We told you we might have some problems. Oh. Okay, so you guys.
Good, baby.
Sakes alive. Okay, so this is Josh Athanas on the left
Legend.
there, being
Josh
an
Athanas,
enormously good sport and legend. And on the right is our good friend, Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey is the son of
crack
JP
baby.
and
Yep.
Steph Harvey
Yep.
and was CB when he was in
He ain't a baby
utero.
no more.
On the website at scottsigler.com, on the forums, we're still rip roaring, which is, sorry about my neck, which was over a decade ago because, of course, he is a young man now, and the forums have evolved into the Facebook group. I think.
And this picture is funny, but if it was brought up to modern day, it's not funny anymore because the crack baby can kill you with a kick anywhere
he's
in
an
your
MMA
body.
master.
He can kill you with a kick anywhere in your body, let alone in the Jimmy bag. The Jimmy bag will put you, that would be it. That would have been it for Mr. Athanas.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with this story, ages ago, when Paul was a tiny human, Josh is an enormously graceful, lovely dude.
Josh is
He
the bomb.
also
He's the bomb.
absolutely loved hanging out with Paul and loved Siglerfest, and they were wrestling around, and Paul accidentally tagged him, and they recreated it a few years later for a photo. This was not the actual moment. So that shows you what kind of dudes both those dudes are, that they were willing to do that.
Very
And
great
this
dudes.
photo,
Very
of course,
great dudes.
taken by Bruce Press,
And
as
now,
you can tell, because it's beautiful.
We've been on this show for so long, doing Siglerism for so long. Of course, now the crack baby is almost
He's
a
an
grown
MMA
ass man,
champion.
almost a grown ass man, and a very impressive young lad who works very, very, very hard. Him and his pops both do a lot of stuff, a lot of work.
Yeah,
and then, of
well,
course,
and his mom also. They're all into MMA now.
A man in a city where he's not understood. Monsters living underground. When man meets monsters, carnage will ensue. Blue Balls. Wednesdays at 8 after Seinfeld. Only on NBC.
This is a graphic for the fictional TV show written by Pookie Chang called Blue Balls. This was created by Samorg Dinatali.
Samorg, I screwed that up. That was if Brian was the main character. Let's do another TV show.
A man with very girthy private parts working for the San Francisco Police Department. The best inspector that has ever been. But a city that needs to be broken like a cowgirl riding in reverse. It is Pookie Chang and his partner chum Brian Clouser in Blue Balls. Sundays on NBC after 2020.
Did I get out of hand? Pookie wrote that. That was a Pookie written description.
A man, Rob Otto, who's constipated because he just ate 18 pounds of tater tots. And now his lower colon screams in agony.
It's Morg. My apologies. My goodness, I can't even believe I did that. I was so taken aback by the Brian overview.
Stephen King showing up. The wonderful voice of Brian Clauser on the Blue Balls series. All right,
Moving on to the next one.
A little bit of a meme.
This is a meme that Ben Fraley did. Ben Fraley spent years and years. If you guys are familiar with Nocturnal, in the original version of Nocturnal, in the White Dungeon, there were little dudes who looked a lot like Jawas. The description was a lot like Jawas.
Yep,
and
a lot like Jawas, unfortunately.
Fraley literally never stopped talking about it until he did this. Essentially. And this is, if you're unfamiliar, of course, the first reading of Earthcore, as you must know, was the podcast with Scott playing all of the voices. And now it's Ray Porter. And apparently Ben Fraley prefers Sonny McGinnis's, the version
That's
of
great.
Sonny McGinnis that comes from him.
I'm perfectly happy with the voice of Darkseid doing Earthcore.
Me too.
And also bringing all of Ray's incredible audiobook fan base to buy our books and make us those monies. So
and he's just such a great guy.
We are delighted with Ray Porter. He's a great performer, a great dude, and also very popular. Very, very popular. Yep. Moving on, I think. And then, look at this.
This is the last time we got to travel, I think, almost. We did get to go right in November. I think we went out for New Year's Eve.
Yep.
We had visitors the week of lockdown in March, but I think this was the last trip that we took.
Might be the last trip. I went to see
together.
My nephew. We took Chris Grawl, Mr. Happy Chris Grawl.
That's him on the right.
Him on the right. He is our military consultant for small unit, for lack of a better word, special forces, commando, weapons, all the great stuff. We've got JP, who's kid we saw earlier, who does all the aircraft stuff. And we've got Scott Pond and naval guys. We got a bunch of military guys. This is our guy as far as if you're in a situation where you're guarding, like, say, an evil base with an evil scientist making evil science, and then somebody comes up and just, like, cut your throat, it's Chris. That's the guy who would do that stuff. Anyways, he came with us, and it turned out to be the greatest trip ever because Chris lives in Chicago. We went to see my nephew Caden play football at Wheaton. Caden had a pick six. And Chris was
pick
there
six
for it.
at that game. Also, people that since how it ever ended up, couple that Scott went to high school with and were high school sweethearts. They married each other. They moved to this town, and their son was playing on the other team.
Yep.
Or maybe not this town, but their son was playing on the other team, so they came to this game and invited Scott for a tailgate. And he's like, "Okay, cool. Can I bring my girlfriend? She'll be with me." And so then he says to me, "Hey, you want to go to a tailgate?" And I'm like, "Sure. How do you what's a tailgate?" And it was like, "Wait, what? Are you kidding me?" And I hadn't been to a tailgate really before. I had been to a Raiders tailgate thing, but I spent so much time doing my brother's black and silver makeup that I didn't really get to tailgate at all. We showed up too late. So it was awesome because when I was there and I met Outluski? Wendy Outluski?
Yeah. Wendy and Charlie Outluskis.
And Wendy was so lovely. And Scott was like, "Okay, get this. She's never been." And Wendy was like, "Well, all right, let's get you drinking some food and find a tailgate." And so I got to actually sit on a tailgate at a tailgate.
She had never sat on a tailgate before, on an actual tailgate of a truck. She'd never sat on one before. Now, if you guys are out in the room and you're like, "Well, I've never sat on a tailgate." Well, actually, if you say it with that accent, that would never. "I never sat on a tailgate before" is not something anyone has ever said in that accent. But if you've never sat on a tailgate, coming from Sheboygan, Michigan, I was like, "What do you mean?" First of all, she'd never been tailgating, and then she never sat on a tailgate, so we got that fixed up toot sweet. Also, this is how mean we all are as kids. Charlie Outluski Charlie's got some very wide ears, so he shaved his head for football, like we all did in Sheboygan, with the bald head and the big ears. He then earned the name Wingnut, and that stuck forever.
Robin Taylor says she tailgated with Richard Sherman's mom, and that would
That's
be a
awesome.
thing I'd love to do.
That's awesome.
I bet she's awesome.
We have one last picture to look at, I believe.
Oh,
and that
yeah,
was
we
sent in
do.
the
It was last minute, but we got it in here. What?
What do we got, baby?
This is Tater Day, and this is the meal that John Vizcarra and his lovely wife are enjoying right now. These apparently are Reuben Tots from his local favorite Irish pub, which is called The Broken. I can't remember. Let me take a quick look.
The broken tater, the broken
Got nothing.
bag.
My guy got nothing.
The broken scrote, or the broke scrote, as we
Definitely
call
not.
it.
I'll definitely
Not the broken
look it up
scrote?
now.
All right.
Hold on.
All right, so that is it for our junkie pictures. We love to see
The
pictures.
boxing donkey. Definitely not a broken anything. The boxing donkey.
Boxing a donkey will wind up with a broke scrote. It's pretty much automatic.
I feel like
you don't want to box a donkey.
Yeah, I know, but
they
Melissa,
come up like this and
doesn't
they go
that
down.
sound
Whack.
delicious?
Whack.
Doesn't it sound delicious, Reuben Tots? When you say it
sounds
out
so
loud
good.
twice, you're like, I definitely
It
need
sounds so
Reuben
good.
Tots.
If you say it 3 times fast in front of the mirror, a donkey shows up and kicks you in the scrote.
I was hoping for a candy man like Tater Man. Like Tater Man would
I
show
think
up
we're
with
looking
those
at
tots.
Tater Man in the bottom left corner here. We got Tater Man for sure. That is our pup date. That is our sponsor pup date.
Yeah, junkie one. Yep.
Junkie one. I got ahead in the junkie one. So let's get
You
to.
did.
We'll come back to content in a moment. Let's get to since John's in his house. Let's get to this week in Siglerism.
Dum, dum, dum.
Over here at Siglerpedia, which if you guys not too into, siglerpedia.scottsigler.com. All the great stuff. If you want to see all the details and the stories, 16 years of stories, all the connections, more than 16, like it's a lot of stories. All the stuff is hooked up here. John has all kinds of great stuff for you. For example, you go and look at Earth Core. There's so much detail here. I don't advise going here before you read a book, but after a book or during a book, if you're confused about something and you want to see what all goes on, especially as the books continue on for the next 5 years and the connections become much more, you'll see much more of the connective tissue, if you will, the ligaments and tendons of the Siglerverse, which are all going to finally come together in GFL Book 8. You can find all of that at Siglerverse. And John does this great little thing that we like to call This Week in Siglerism. And here it is.
On this day in Siglerism.
On this day in Siglerism. Going back on this day, March 31st, we were podcasting Earth Core 3rd edition. The All Pro came out as an audiobook way back in 2014. This is specifically to make you guys feel old. Episode 25, the MVP, was released in 2013. Back in 2008, we were on the first run of Nocturnal. Holy crap. 2007, Dame Julie Andrews delivered Poison Dates?
Poison dates.
Poison Dates to me as an insincere congratulatory gift, which made me throw up during an entire radio tour for Infected, which is sort of a funny story, except I was throwing up over 17 radio interviews. I would have to hit the pause button to be like, well, that's an interesting question, John. Let me get back to you in the morning zoo. Can you hold on 1 second? Hit mute. And I'm barfing up, stomach lining. Sometimes I would forget to hit the mute button. It did not go well. It was not very good. And then, of course, back in 2007, also, we were in the middle of doing the adult version of The Rookie. Way back when.
Oh, my
When there was
goodness.
all of John Tweedy's cursing in it. It was great. It was lovely. And thank you, John, for doing This Week in Siglerism.
I think we actually somehow, and you ended up adding a whole bunch of this stuff earlier, so we have already done junkie picks down here. I don't know why it's
I
here
did,
and up
but
there.
we did not do empty set updates. Let's knock those out. And
But
then
we
we'll
did.
We did?
Yeah, you did them up earlier in the thing, but I'll talk about the two that are not done.
No, we didn't do this right here.
Yep. So
And
as
then we're going to get to a little baby and McButter. Go ahead.
as you know, we are almost out of the hardcover of The Champion. Each week it goes down a handful more. We sell 5 to 7 to 10 a week. It's almost a sure thing that when the gangster starts to ship and people are getting their copies and people are advertising their copies, these will sell out. That has happened with everything else that is sold out. That's how the Rookie sold out. That's how the MVP sold out. That's how the All Pro sold out. So if you haven't gotten a copy of The Champion, and you are interested in a full hardcover set, the easiest, least expensive way to do that is to order one of the 60 or so copies that are remaining. You will see, I think if you scroll down again, can you scroll up a little bit there? This one doesn't tell you how many are left. Okay, good. Oh, no, it does. 104 in stock. That is a made-up number because people try and game the system to guess their number. So that is always made up. I change it about once a month. So that has no bearing on what your number will be. It has no bearing on how many copies are left because I got tired of answering questions about why did it say 104 in stock and I ended up with number 99 or whatever.
What else we got?
We also have, you mentioned, so we're still on track to ship the Gangster. We should be going to print in a few weeks, in a week or two. That is still hopefully going to be in your hot little hands by the end of Q2. The system is the same as it ever was, except we have to do it all here in this tiny place and have no help. Oh. So Scott has to sign all the books by himself. And I have to ship all the books that he sends.
That reminds me of something. As soon as you're done, I'll tell everybody what's going on Sigler Ascension Day.
So normally it takes about a week or so because we have about 15 helpers helping us pack and ship and stuff.
It's going to suck, dude.
It's and this is the last time we did this, just the two of us on our own. It took us 9 14-hour days. And we were on a deadline because we had a rented place. We are not on a deadline with a rented place now. So it will definitely take more than 9 days because I'm also a decade but a dozen years older, so definitely not going to be 14-hour days, 9 days in a row, but we're going to do it as fast as we can to get them out to you because we know you guys have been so patient and waiting so patiently.
Okay, and then we looks like Stone Wolf's going to be out Q2
probably,
or Q3?
Yeah, late Q2, early Q3. We're actively in the recording process now. And I had a little bit of a delay from my Moderna vaccine, so who knows about my second one, but we'll get it done as soon as we can. And then, as ever, if you have kids in school or college classrooms in school and they want to talk to a real live author, just have that teacher, that institution, send us an email at info@emptyset.com and we can get that set up with them. And then if it's a school library or if it's a school with a school library, a lending library, we also do 2-for-1 book sales for them.
Rob, VK, appreciate that. But due to COVID, we are not getting any help this year. We're going to do it all ourselves. We're going to see how that goes. So if you find a blood splattered garage in a little while, you'll know what happened because A will have had enough for me. All right. So that brings us to Sigler Ascension Day, ladies and gentlemen. Sigler Ascension Day, April 1st every year, is going back to 2007, was it, sweetheart? Or 8? 2008, I think.
9.
Due to you guys, due to Junkies, Ancestor, the paperback of Ancestor, before there were ebooks, y'all. This was actual paperback.
That is 2007. Sorry,
2007.
Baby.
Yeah. The Junkies bum rushed Amazon.com. Ancestor became the number one horror, number one sci-fi book on... Ancestor became the number one horror sci-fi book on Amazon. It was number 2 fiction overall behind only Harry Potter. It was number 3 in the Amazon store of all products sold. That led to a big book deal for me, a 5-book deal with Random House, which is awesome. And I've been writing full-time ever since I signed that deal. So thank you all. It's a great time. We usually put out something fun. And this year, we just hired my cousin Bodie to do digital marketing. He's on parole. It's nonviolent crime. No big deal. Just a lot of weed, apparently. Possession of weed, which isn't even a crime anymore. So it's like he didn't do a crime. Anyways, Bodie's in charge of digital marketing. Bodie is going to have an announcement tomorrow that is going to be at scottsigler.com. It's going to be at facebook.com/scottsigler, instagram.com/scottsigler, youtube.com/scottsigler. Bodie is doing his first ever sale announcement, and we're very proud of him. We're very proud of Bodie for making something of himself.
Bodie is something.
Bodie is something. So
something.
That will be a Siglerism specific sale. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. And as usual here at All Things Scott Sigler Related, even though we're trying to take your money, we're trying to entertain you at the same time. So hopefully the sales announcement will turn out good. I haven't heard it. Have you heard it?
I haven't heard it. We're hoping to hear it soon.
The interview got a little dodgy. I was a little irritated.
Yeah, I mean,
Bodie,
you went through the interview.
but I'm sure Steve edited out all the bad parts. So the iceberg absolutely took care of me, and I'm not gonna look like a jerk at all when this thing drops tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Sigler Ascension Day, one day early. You guys are awesome. You guys are the reason we have this job. We love this job. It's a shit ton of work. I'll take the dollar fine, Richard. It's a ton of work, and it's going to really suck being in that garage in the middle of summer in San Diego.
Yeah, good news. It'll be summer. It was 80 degrees today.
Woo! I'm going to lose some weight the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But now it's time.
We're just gonna set up, those like Gatorade things that are in the back of trucks and stuff for like Lindsay. I'm gonna do that with margaritas.
With margaritas? Oh wait, let's bring us up front here. Hold on. Let's go back to me. What I kind of want, Gatorade. Those gerbil bottles they put in the gerbil cage. Gerbil bottles are not anything dirty. Rob, shut up. The things they put in the hamster cage where the gerbils like paw their way. I want one of those full of Gatorade in the garage, so I don't even have to get a glass. I just go. And let's get back to maybe Baby McButter. Those of you
Oh,
who
and
stay,
Sandra makes a good point. It's winter in the southern
you
hemisphere.
need to lean. There we go. Okay, because I thought it'd be fun if we had to lean together for this, to get you out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now. This is if you have children around, do not let them listen to this. But next week's Baby McButter is very unfortunate. Most of you won't want to listen to it.
Wait, is this is not the interviews?
This is Baby McButter partial interview, partial Baby McButter trying to get his swing on. You know what I'm saying? But next week's is Baby McButter playing cards against Siglerism.
Wait, didn't we watch that last week?
No.
Okay,
This is,
all right.
I watched it today, and I'm embarrassed to even be associated with the brand at all. But let's get into this. Here we go. Movie 1. Ladies and gentlemen, and we will ride the sound. Like I told you, there are problems, so let's see how this goes. This is Baby McButter and SIGLERfest 2012.
Yes, that's what this sign says. Now I'm afraid.
You should be afraid.
Maybe we should have cleared this throughway.
Baby McButter tries to pick up a chick. Yes. Well, Baby McButter was a girl in the book. SIGLERfest 2012. She's so much in it. Was SIGLERfest 2012. Go figure. Here we go.
So, do you come here often?
I hear Julie
I
laughing.
noticed that you are a very spotty ass. I happen to like very spotty asses. Maybe after I get done interviewing these people who can't seem to form a sentence, you and I could go out and make the mooing noises. We could do this together. I hope I am not being too forward when I say that I like the shape of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's very
All right, John says we have double audio, something we can never pick, so we're going to cut down.
positive.
You guys couldn't hear a goddamn word I said. I turned on the friggin' volume. I said wonderful things about a lot of people, and they were not captured. So, okay, here we go. Now
Actually, you turned it all down so that you could curse and Richard wouldn't find you.
That's correct, Richard. You can't find me unless you know how to read lips. So I'm now going to turn down all of our volume so you can hear Baby McButter in his glory, her glory, whatever. Here we go. Let's go.
So, do you come here often? I could not help but notice that you are a very spotty ass. I happen to like very spotty asses. Maybe after I get done interviewing these people who can't seem to form a sentence, you and I could go out and make the mooing noises. We could do this together. I hope I am not being too forward when I say that I like the shape of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's a very positive thing. Why won't you talk to me? Are you too good for me? What are you? Some kind of model? Maybe you model gloves. This is bullshit. I'm out of here. Fuck. You are a bitch. You've always been an uptight bitch. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
That's it. That is Baby McButter trying to get his groove on for the night. Let's go back to Maine. Honey, I think we mostly succeeded with... No, Richard! That's recorded audio, and that wasn't me. That was Baby McButter.
Dudes, if you didn't see it into the chat room after we had to restart the video because there was double audio Nelson put in, do the tech TARDIS.
What is what's the internet term for the guys who get really mad because they can't get dates? What are those
Incels?
guys? Yeah, that's Baby McButter incel. Getting very mad because he can't get some play at a bar.
I don't know. If he's an incel, he's the most polite incel that has ever existed.
I don't think the end of that was polite at all.
No, I'm not saying it was polite. I am saying it is without question the most polite incel.
Freak
for
Show,
sure.
I think Baby McButter did not Did not score the night. Got neither any gloves nor any leather nor any spotty ass. None of it.
And if you weren't here last week where we showed the first video, he's no longer with us. His butt got eaten by rats.
Yeah, Baby McButter's butt got eaten by rats. And
I mean, that specific Baby McButter.
Not going back to the gerbil discussion earlier. I'll just leave that one alone. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, baby, let's go back to it's time to take us out.
It is. So I thought we would have time for a question or two, but I think we're going to save those for next week.
Also, some really unfortunate Baby McButter footage next week, too.
Oh, Lord sakes.
The worst yet. The worst.
Lord.
Without
I'm
doubt.
definitely reviewing that before we air it in case it's inappropriate. And then we're not going to air it, actually. Okay. I think that's it. If you guys have questions, if you guys have suggestions for charities, remember they don't have to be COVID related anymore. In 2021, they can be very local to you as long as these people need help and you know them. Just send us an email to info@emptyset. That's actually true for anything you want to share with us, questions you have about your Order of the Gangster, or anything else at large. info@emptyset.com. We appreciate you guys so much for hanging with us all this time. And if you want, come back next week on the 7th of April,
yeah. Which is National Beer Day. What? What National Beer Day? Let's play drinking games, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make next Wednesday. I need you to bring your beers. And here's the only rule. I'm a tiny human being. I'm very small. When I drink a beer, you drink a beer. That's it. You do not have to participate at all. But if you commit, I expect you to bring a sixer. Rob Otto, let's go. Let's get it done.
It's also, in case you're not a beer drinker, next week is also National No Housework Day.
Those two go together very well.
I'm all in for. I will avoid housework on Wednesday. It's not even trash day anymore. It used to be trash day.
John Biscar's going back to the boxing donkey. Very nice.
It's
very
good
nice.
Good idea for sure. So until next week, you guys, we are so close to being out of this thing, but we're also really close to a fourth wave. So
yeah, it's going to be bad.
Please stay safe.
Want you to stay smart and don't get your ass eaten by rats.
And stay science and don't get your ass eaten by rats.
And for the love of science, stay informed. Tune in next week for some horribly inappropriate Baby McButter. If it makes it past the censors, I'm not going to say anything, but the censors might not like this skit at all. And hopefully my cousin will be here next week.
A lot has changed since 2012, so we have to make sure it's appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
Okay, then we're not.
Well, she has to see it first.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Also, you know what? It's in memoriam. Baby McButter's no longer with us, at least until Descendant. So, I mean,
I might have to do a redacted, potentially.
We can bleep it.
And you can just add it verbatim overwards.
All right.
And so the only thing we have left, I think,
is for the love of science, stay informed. Don't get your ass eaten by rats. Let's shut this off. Let's give all these lovely people a kiss off into the sky. Wait. Well, I got to find the right button. Now, we don't know what's going to happen now. Wait. No. Yes, here.
Yes, you can make a ginger beer, of course. You can make a chocolate milk if you want.
We don't know. You can just, whatever it is, it's got to be in a bottle. It's got to be 12 ounces. Don't bring 40s because you will die. I swear to God. Here we go. And